Hi everyone, my name is Merbat Saokat and I'm here to discuss what is plant systematic and my example of Dichotomous K. So guys, please keep watching. Plant systematics is a science that includes and encompasses traditional taxonomy. However, its primary goal is to reconstruct the evolutionary history of plant life. It divides plants into taxonomic groups, such as using morphological, anatomical, embryological, chromosomal, and chemical data. The history of plant systematics is the biological classification of plants. Stretches from the word ancient Greek to modern evolutionary biologies. So here we go. What is dichotomous K? A dichotomous K is a tool that allows the users to determine the identity of items in the natural world, such as trees, wildflowers, mammals, reptiles, rocks, and fish. Keys consist of a series of traces that leads the user to the correct name of a given item. So that is the meaning of dichotomous K. Next. So here is my example of dichotomous K, my plant Phyla. So here the no vascularization and has vascular tissues and their function. So here the no vascularization by the plant phylum Bryophyta is a type of plant that includes a group of widely distributed chlorophyll-bearing plants which are hardly noticed by people because of their small size. The name of the phylum comes from the Greek word bryon, which means moose, and phyton, which means plants. So that is the Bryophyta. So here the characteristic of Bryophytes. So number one is lack structures that are specialized for conducting water and dissolved food. So higher plants such as flowering plants contain structures that are specialized for conducting water and dissolved food. Bryophytes are small plants. So small plants. Most Bryophytes have shorter stems and those with long stems are rarely longer than 8 centimeters. Unlike algae and fungi, Bryophytes have structures that look like stems, leaves, and roots. So here we go. The has vascular tissue, has seed and flower. So the example of this is Angiospermophyta. The flowering plants which carry their seeds inside an ovary. So the example of this plant is such as sunflower or angiosperm. Angiosperms are flower-producing plants. Producing this flower is an effective method of sexual reproduction because flowers contain both male and female organs. The transportation of pollen to the other flowers of the same species is done by the color, smell, and taste of the flower. And all flowers have the same basic parts, so there isn't a lot difference between the flower types such as anatomy. Angiosperms are the dominant plant life on land because the flower provides such as an effective means of seedling transportation. Gases, for example, are a very widespread angiosperm. It's in a very constant except for Antarctica because of the harsh climate. So that's it. Next is the no flower, which is the Coniferophyta. The example of this is the conifers. Has leaves, roots, and stems. Stems are woody and leaves are waxy and needle-like. Reproduced by non-motile gametes, which are found in cones. Example is the pine tree or the conifers. So, gagamitin So, my example of this is conifers. Conifers are a group of cone-bearing seed plants, a subset of gymnosperm. Scientifically, they make up the division Pinophyta, all known as a Coniferophyta or Coniferae. The division contains a single extant class, Pinopsida. All extant conifers are periperennial woody plants with secondary growth. So here we go, the new seeds. The example is Phyla. Ferns are the type of plant, beech or Fagus So next, the new seed are the example of this Phyla. Phyla is an under-early system of a bright plant. Classification firm are placed under phylum Prytidophyta. The name comes from the Greek word prytron, which means feeder, and phyton, which means plants. It pertains to the appearance of the leaves of the bird's knit firm. Under a more recent system of plant classification, the ferns are placed under the phylum Phyla. And the characteristic of ferns is ferns are shade-loving plants. Some of them are relatively large, but they are generally short since in the most of them. The leaves are practically anchored directly to the soil of the tree trunk. Ferns are similar to the seed-bearing plants. Although they are similar to the seed-bearing plants, their reproductive structures are spore rather than seeds. Ferns are similar to bryophytes in this respect. And the importance of this fern is ferns belong to the first trophic level of various food chain in the biosphere. Ferns are used for ornamental purposes. Some of ferns are edible. The young fern's leaves, called fround, are eaten as a salad or cooked, especially with coconut milk and shrimp of the carboiled fish. So this is the overview of the plant Phyla. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching.